Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Now, if I knew anything about editing or, the finer points of making my videos, snazzy and fancy, I would be adding the Hallelujah chorus as a soundtrack to this video because this journal is done, yay! And this is the flip through video. So thank you so much for being here. I think there's been some interest in this journal and in this process. So I don't know if you're any more relieved than I am that it's done. And if you're keeping score, I still have at least one purple journal to complete yet. It's the one with the, let me just show you. Oh, it's the one with the miraculous slip cover that worked. If you'll remember, I don't know if you saw that video or not, but this was a piece of thrifted fabric that actually fits this book cover like a glove. So anyway, I think because I've neglected my blush journals for so long, I may pack up the purple stuff, for a while and give myself and you a change of pace and get on with those blush journals. But anyway, we're here to talk about this one. So I will give you kind of the full view. You may have, if you persevered, you may have seen the video I did on me making this first spine dangle. It is removable. It features this lovely, this was the focal point on an expansion bracelet. And, there's obviously a combination of ribbons and a tassel and beads and yeah. So for the ease of movement, I will take it off. It's just held on by that clip. Now, if you saw the previous video where I was adding embellishments to the journal, you know that it is slightly agape. And while that isn't my preference, I think it is what some people like, and it is, the fact of the matter here. In hindsight, but of course, well, no, I was going to say that in hindsight, I think for me personally, it would be better to make wider spines. Mind you, no matter how wide the spine, you can overload it. So I think being cognizant of that is part of what I need to do in the future. You may remember, if you've been watching any of these videos at all, that this beautiful book, which is pristine, was actually a book on Canadian swine records. Now, naturally, I didn't want to feature that on the spine, so that's why I have a hidden spine here. It's got 3 signatures. It's got this beautiful paisley fabric hiding those threads. I chose to use a necklace, a thrifted necklace, as my closure. And all I have here is, well, I didn't do anything other than that, these few little beads here. So it's a lobster claw, and I chose that link to close it. Now, I probably could have squeezed it down a little more and gone one more over. However, I don't want to, do anything dumb to the spine. But, books can be broken if you don't treat them well. So, and then I just added this little dangle that I made using 3 beads on a head pin. So if the person who ends up buying this enjoys, you know, books that can't stay closed, or keeps on adding things to this, as they very well might, let me get over here where I can get a better grip on that little clasp. There are obviously more links, more adjustments in this. You know, sometimes these fingernails don't do me any favors. This is not kid-proof. I just want to reassure you of that. It's just that I can't get a good grip on that little tiny, teeny, tiny little thing to open the lobster. Oops, thought I had it. Oh, Lord. Okay, there, I've got it. But now can I open it? Apparently not. Oh, it would help if I gave myself that extra little ½ inch of space to work with. Yoy. Okay. So, in case you haven't heard me talk about it before, this is a journal topper, one of several that I made months or a year ago. And the basis of it is a coaster, a paper coaster. Some lace, some chiffon-y type material, this shabby flower, and I also used this salvage trim. This came off a sweater, a thrifted sweater, to kind of bridge that gap between the paisley fabric and the actual cover. So let's get to it. The inside of this journal is wallpaper that was gifted to me by Carol from the Crinkled Path. And in fact, there are a few elements in here that came from her, so I appreciate that. In the journal pocket is my message from the journal maker. And this is like a library pocket and card. This is scrapbooking paper. This is a time card, my one and only time card. Oh, I included these. I don't know where these came from, to be honest. I think they're supposed to be 3D. Yeah, 3D glasses. So I thought, well, number one, they match, and isn't that kind of a cool surprise? So just holding this on here with a paper clip. Love, love, love the colors. Now this foily scalloped edge thing is, well, it's a circle that's obviously been folded into quarters. It is one of those things that you'd find at a wedding shop. Oh, I should show you this card, I guess. It's just an empty note card, but of course, a lovely image on the top there. Anyway, it is one of those things that you would wrap wedding favors in. Now, I don't know if that's still a popular element right at the moment or not. I don't know. This is just scrapbooking paper. Again, used the edge of something or other here. This is a tuck spot, a very shallow tuck spot. And because this journal is so darn thick already, I don't believe that I will be adding anything more to it. I may choose to include some extras, although I don't know where a person would put them, to be honest. This is a greeting card, blank, but of course it made the cut because of the color. This is a book from, or a page from a book on quilting. Upper tuck, same, well, scrapbooking paper. This is obviously the flap of an envelope. This is more of that paper. The other side of the envelope, a fabric, an altered paper clip with this fabric attachment. I'm just going to be kind of quick about this. Say other side of that. So, oh, we're still in the first signature. This is obviously a bookmark. A fabric cluster. The other side of that little purple, foil doily. And the end of the first signature. Now, if you saw the video where I was adding embellishments, you'll know that there are several of these that were, excuse me, fussy cut. I fussy cut around the motifs on a souvenir tea towel. And then, of course, each one was backed and zigzagged around the edges. So those could be written on. Book page. Now, this is obviously a window. This is a journaling card. And this is an explosion of purple and all its permutations. This is a flash card with obviously very beautiful color to it. This is a greeting card. Oh, and it's also a pocket. Now, did I put something in there or not? No, I didn't. This is a belly band. Again, didn't put anything there, but obviously a person could. I love this. This was a greeting card that already had this opening cut, so I didn't have to try to make that happen. So I just glued that image there, which is beautiful and vintage in its own right, but looks really good that way. Another fabric cluster. Now this was just scrapbooking paper that I folded the long way and turned into a pocket. This is die cut bias tape that I backed onto something to give it some stability. This is a beautiful fussy cut image out of a flower book, and it's like a bouquet of flowers. I just put it on a piece of cardstock or heavier paper, and it serves no purpose other than beauty. Here is the other side of that, and it is a pocket. So I've just, I guess one way that I could save some space. Well, but again, I shouldn't be taking stuff out of the journal, so I'll leave it intact. This is a greeting card, and it had the monogram B on it. Now, I could have left it as it was. I mean, it was perfectly fine. But instead, I added multiple layers of decoration to it. Why is it so hard to open these things on camera? Is it these fingernails? Oh, that's the back of that note paper. This is a digital I got from someone. I don't remember who. This is, okay. This is a pocket with the same fabric that's on the spine with a fabric ruffle. And then I because this is nothing. This is just paper. Almost like a construction paper, to be honest, that I tucked in there. Mostly because they're there was enough slack there to accommodate 3 pieces of paper. Didn't really need the bulk, to be honest, but this is a gigantic journaling card with a fabric little ruffly thing at the top. I better make sure you guys can see what I'm talking about. And this is just one of those divider cards covered with, I think that's a digital, if I'm not mistaken. So all of these still have room for additional decoration because some of them are pretty plain. Another paper clip. This is part of the book page out of that quilting book. Another one of these. Fabric ruffle. This is gift wrap that I just love. I just added this pocket. Again, I'm not putting anything in there because I can't afford the bulk. Oh, I did put a journaling card in this pocket. And again, this is kind of substantial, so that obviously added some bulk as well. The tab, purposely sticks out above just to add some interest to the top of the book as well. Book page, you've seen that before. This is a fairly low profile cluster, which obviously I was cognizant of the bulk at this point. This is just a little tab I made by gluing 2 fussy cut images together. This is another one of those foil doilies, but in this case I just left it as is. A pocket made out of a page out of an Ideals magazine. Another one of these fussy cut tea towel things. Scrapbooking paper. This was a pocket that I had done for a challenge. That was, let's see, Jennifer Scrapbooks and Memories, I think is the channel. And this is just, this could be an over-the-top thing, but I also chose to stick it in this pocket, which was made off an invoice out of a bill book. This is the seam allowance from that same dress. Paper or fabric ruffle, greeting card or envelope. This is something beautiful that I honestly can't remember. I believe that I did this, but it was so long ago, I just don't remember how. I think it was on the gel plate, and it's just on brown paper. This is an upper tuck. Again, same scenario. This is out of an art book. It's a plain piece of paper. Now, this is the center fold off the center or the second signature. So I've added this sequin trim to these pockets, and this was vintage vintage wrapping paper. Just did a little embellishing there. This is a vintage card, which is beautiful. A couple extras here. Now this was stamping that I had done on business cardstock. This is out of a greeting card, one of those fancy edge ones. A ruffle here because I think, yes, I was covering up happy birthday or whatever. This is just a little quote. This is a piece of scrapbooking paper, so a little place to write something if a person chooses. This is another pocket. Oh, I forgot to say that these beautiful dresses were a freebie, a digital freebie from Kim Newberg. This is packaging from one of those old, I don't know, I keep saying it and I haven't looked into it. Back in the day, you could buy, if you were building your own first aid kit for home and you needed a roll of gauze, you could buy a box and the gauze was wrapped in this purpley blue paper. This is beautiful. Something could be put in here. This is just a brochure about planting bulbs. Part of a page edge, part of a strip that came with it was like this. I used part of it there. Okay, what else? Oh, this was just a little fabric ruffle that I added to this journaling type card. This was wrapped around a jelly roll of fabric. I had purple cabbage dyed it. Okay, this part here, yeah, is the flap of an envelope. So all I did was glue a little something there, add some oversized postage stamps that match. Now this, I love this, the look of this thing. Maybe I did this on video, I don't know. That 16 there obviously doesn't help. I think that, yeah, that's wood. So it is an envelope decorated front and back. And this is a teeny tiny little something that I made using the packaging from bias tape. So there's a lot going on a tiny little thingamajig. And I just, oh, I know I had it. Oh, how did I do that? I thought this part, anyway, it was tucked in here so a person would know it's there. The other side of that paper, this was just a handmade card by somebody. Oh, if there was a name, I covered it up. So I did a little collage at the back. I had to keep trimming this so it, oh, I know, I was trying to fit it in a pocket. Anyway, it got narrower and narrower and narrower. Just added a little bit more there because it was just a plain old white space. Another fabric cluster. This is more of the die cut bias tape fabric that was glued and reinforced. This was kind of a cute thing. I mean, I struggled with it, but I got her done. This was, okay, this purpley paper here was the negative space off this butterfly die cut. So I started adding elements to it, and then I added some purple lace, and then I added some purpley cello from, I don't know, something, flowers or whatever. And so it's a see-through pocket. This is just one of those over-the-top kind of things. This is a beautiful piece of paper. I'm not even sure how I'm able to part with it, but I am. I'm getting better. Oh my goodness. This is another page out of Ideals. Oh, this came from I thrifted a box with hundreds of pieces of elements that were intended, I think, for a teenage girl to decorate her wall. So I cut off the greenery, I added it to this just to give this thing some stability, and it became a tuck spot. Here's another bias tape wrapper, similar thing. These are all pockets. Okay, on this side, I also made a pocket using more of the, oh, this stuff here is Cricut paper, Cricut vinyl. Now, it makes for a pretty heavy pocket. So what I learned was to peel off the backing, stick it to paper, and it's still strong, but it's not quite as rigid, perhaps. Just a little collage there. Doily, piece of doily pocket, just a journaling tag with some fuzzy cut, the same fabric. This and this are the same piece of paper. This is what the back said. I got flowers that were wrapped in that paper, and I love it so much. This is another paper clip cluster. This is just some beautiful scrapbooking cardstock. This is a fabric flip, and I think I've shown this before. This is actually a little kid barrette that I, removed the back part. And this was a top of mine. This was a paint rag that I had. And here we are at the end. Now, I did not put a pocket or anything back here. I suppose a person could, but honestly, is there room for more? I don't think so. So, for those of you who may be interested in this journal, I am going to be showing it, giving it to someone as an option. She was interested in my first purple journal. Now that I have this second one done, I'm going to give her an option. I also had someone inquiring about whether or not that first one was for sale. So I've kind of promised to keep him in the loop. I've then had another person inquiring about this journal. So I'm going to try very hard to please everybody. And whether or not, I guess it actually gets listed anywhere remains to be seen, but I will honor those first inquiries. So again, thank you so much for your support, your interest, your wonderful, encouraging comments. Like I said, I think I'm going to, just for my own sanity, temporarily pack up the purple and pick up the blush journals again. I'm also, I'm very close. In fact, if I would just bear down, I'm sure I could be doing a flip through of at least one of those very soon as well. I am also working on my 1,000 subscriber giveaway journal. But of course, we're still, 90 bodies or so away from that. Or no, more than that, 95 perhaps. So I really need people to, take the chance, bite the bullet, no risk, no obligation, to subscribe and help me get there. Anyway, this is probably longer than it should have been, but I appreciate your presence, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.